Welcome to the COVID Chronicles YYC. I'm Denise Summers of Amphora Communications. I'm a local business storyteller and communications consultant. Today we're joined by Chantal Milloy of Levvel, which works with businesses to help them maximize their efficiency. So welcome, Chantal, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Denise. I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, happy to have you. And so tell us more about you and about Levvel, what you do and who you do it with.
Sure. Thanks for that. I come from a long background of technology. So my background is really heavy rooted in technological transformation, working in the telecom sector. And in 2015, my husband and I decided to start our own company and leave corporate, which is scary at first when you make that decision. But it has been great. And so we formed Levvel in 2015 out of wanting to make a company that addressed some of the issues that we were feeling in our careers, but also the type of company that we wanted to create for others. And Levvel is a consultancy based business. We started in IT staffing, mainly in the tech sector. So it really brought together our background. But beyond that, now we do have four lines of business. So we do staffing, we do change management, managing change on the people side, and we have a management consulting practice. And then we also have a really great quality assurance testing group of women in Rwanda that do all of our testing. So that's what Levvel is, and that's what we do. And it really brought my background together on being able to provide that now for customers. On what I did for organizations, I get to now do for our customers.
Okay, and do you have a number of people working for you, consultants, or how
Yeah.
do you do this work?
Yeah, we do. We have 12 employees and a large base of consultants that work with us as well, sometimes as many as 80 at one time. And it's really dependent on the projects that we have on the go, on the line of business, and depending on what we're engaged at. And there's no question this interesting time that we're in right now has had Calgary and a lot of Calgary based businesses. It's difficult for consultancy based businesses. You're losing contracts or you're not starting as many. So there's no question that's been a challenge, but we have managed to maintain a really good core group of consultants still working with us. And luckily, our employee base is still the same. We've not had to reduce our core workforce, which really, really makes us happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, how when you talk about how COVID's impacted you, what did you have in place so that you didn't have to make changes at Levvel? How you were able to keep your employees and so on?
Yeah, we've talked, boy, a lot about this. And I talk about we all think about what we should have done, right? The things that we should have done better leading into this. But truly, this was an event that nobody could foresee, So, how much COVID related or true disaster recovery planning, do small businesses often have the ability to do? What helped us, though, is I think being very, very close to our business financials. I myself watch it daily, really understanding your business down to the penny, down to the spend, um, forecasting, strategic planning, where we knew we could ride out a 6 month as an example. What would happen if we were to lose some major contracts? How do you ride out that next 6 months? And that those were the things that we had put before some of that strategic planning prior to this hitting, plus watching the financials really closely, lessening spend, being smart, that really paid off. So we didn't know that COVID was coming, but what it helped us do is really stabilize. So if we believe that, look, we're going to get through this, we all will. It's going to be difficult, but we were able to dig in really hard with our employees. We were meeting twice a week through this. Up until only recently have we gone to once a week, but we had our management team just twice a week, get on the phone for an hour and a half, focus. What are we doing every day? Help people through it. We want to keep everybody employed. So we were very transparent. Here's what we all need to do to lift this and get through the next, we hope, 4 or 5 months. where we hope in the fall that things will start to turn around in the market. And we see 2021 as where we should have been in 2020. It's almost like a delay. The plan of a business is delay that year to the growth we expected to see this year and push it out, but get through it. And so far, we've been able to do that. And we're overjoyed that we didn't have to let anyone go, that we worked through it as a team. And those are the biggest things, I think, that having some planning heading into this has really, really helped us get through it.
Right. And you had expanded into Eastern Canada just before COVID hit. That's right, I think. And what kind of impact did that have on your business? Was it a positive one, or do you wish you'd waited? What was the impact of that?
Yeah, it was really interesting because we were ready. We were ready to go. Like I'm telling, not even days before COVID hit. Really, it was March. I mean, that was always the plan. Like I said, we're pretty good at planning ahead, and we knew that for us, 2019 was about getting ready for the growth of 2020. So we hired business development. We really shored up in the hiring, thinking, here we go. And expansion east was meant to start in March. So we had already hired our staff to go and get them set up in the east with one person in particular from Calgary moving east, and the head of our management consulting firm that we hired globally. We met in Rwanda, and he's from India, but we met in Rwanda, and he was on a plane, we thought, to set up shop in Toronto, and another for us in Ottawa. And of course, travel completely came to a halt. So it definitely delayed our physical expansion, but in a sense, how good everybody got at, okay, it's got to work from home, got to continue our work, and how quickly people adopted a global workforce. It doesn't matter, what physical city you're in right now. So what slowed for us is the physical movement to the Eastern market, but we've been able to still start the interactions with some potential customers and start to try to grow that market. Now, contracts have slowed, right? So the impact we've seen is what should have started in March and April, we're really counting on starting in September, October now, and we're only now seeing some great momentum around that. So we have the head of our management consulting is in India. He joins us, twice a week for our meetings. Time zone's a killer for him, but
Right, right.
we managed to make it work. And another one of our folks who lives out east, who's working from home, and then another one here in the west that's going to move east to help us with the expansion as soon as we feel comfortable, and that he feels comfortable doing that. So.
Okay, great. And your credo is business in balance. What does that mean for you, and what does that mean now?
Yeah, what came about as Business in Balance was an effort and a journey that my husband and co-founder and I went through when we were looking for what Levvels should become. Our brand name used to be Ayuga Works. We had another company name prior, and over a year ago, we went through a rebranding exercise because we never felt that who are we as a business and as people. And business in balance is what emerged quite naturally as who we are as people, integrity and values and equity. And the entire credo of business in balance is that things in business and life do not have to be either or. So we are very much shy away from polarization, that it can all exist in balance, that you can work from home, raise kids, be a successful business leader. You can, whether you're a man or a woman, regardless of what culture you come from, regardless of what language or race, that business in balance is possible and should actually be strived for. So it really took on a natural life of its own, that it already was who we are as people, and we live that brand through our company. And then Levvel was a natural, word that surfaced as being the right company name and brand for us on our personal beliefs that match our business beliefs and how we wanted to make a difference in the marketplace at our approach and relationship style with our customers, partners, and employees.
Right. Yeah. Very powerful message. And integrity, to me at least, means when everything is in balance, when what you're doing is in balance with your values and so on. So that's, yeah, that's very powerful. And so one of your business practices is staffing solutions. Can you tell me how you've pivoted with that during the pandemic?
Yeah, for sure. You know, when we started staffing, it really was, as I mentioned, focused in the IT sector. And our specialty absolutely is project managers, business analysts, solution architects, you name it, any role in IT. But that really morphed, prior to COVID, it morphed into other types of staffing solutions because we were very good at matching and finding the right talent. And so it did grow outside of just the IT sector. And we really do executive recruiting as well as we're still heavy in the tech sector because of our background. But it is all kinds of staffing and staffing, whether teams or individuals. So in this time, there is a lot of talent, sadly,
Right.
on the street, if you will, who have been displaced from their work. And there's no question it gives us even a greater drive to find something for them. We're really rooted in, we started the business by being intent on putting Calgarians and Albertans back to work because the economy was not great, even, in 2015, 16 when we started. And it's been a struggle here in Alberta for years. And that now through COVID, that's been even more important that we can do the best we can with the talents that we have to help match people to contract employment, permanent employment, and just open up the network for them. So what we've really seen through this time is, people need hope. People need
Right.
sometimes a bit of practice to think of themselves outside of the norm that they might have traditionally looked for. So I think what we're really good at is helping people see the talent that they bring beyond just the role and the specific experience that they've had, and get our customers and others to give folks a shot in something that might be not as traditional for their background, but they're smart, they're talented. So that to me has been the shift, is getting creative and doing our best to continue employment for as many people as we can, which is the whole reason we started Levvel.
Right, right. And you also do a lot of work in change management. What has that been like during the pandemic?
Yeah, there could be no greater change that, that nobody could predict, right? And funny enough, when you manage change professionally, and as we do, and that's a large part of my personal background in telecom. I was the leader of business transformation at a few organizations. You learn that the same principles apply. You just have to apply them, and there's a methodology that different people use, and we use managed change, which is a methodology that LaMarche Global out of Chicago utilizes, and we're the affiliate for Canada for that. And what you learn is you do have to manage the people side of change, and where those of us that work in managing change know this, we've been doing this for years, you really do have to put people first. And it is about understanding where people are at in their journey. And this has been unprecedented. So you're helping organizations help their people through that quick shift to remote to work, right? Was the first big change that hit folks on. We have to immediately get people functioning, at work from home. So what's that like? That's a massive overhaul. So a lot of the work we do there is help leaders help their folks to guide them through change by using some sound principles of communication, learning, reinforcement, reward, and then support for leaders, which is something we often forget in managing change, because leaders need help. They're people first, and not necessarily always natural to think about what should I do to help my people? I'm supposed to cascade this message. I'm supposed to be strong for them. Well, I need some help.
Right.
So you got to start sometimes with that leadership group to have them aware of what do you need to then be prepared for the questions that you're going to get and the uncertainties that you're going to get and the fears that you're going to get in this work from home change in productivity. So that's really, I think, how we've helped through this is leadership coaching has been quite big through this.
Okay, great. Yeah. Yeah, it certainly had a big impact on everyone. And you also have a global initiative working with Rwandan women and technology. Can you tell me about that and why Rwanda? How did that come to be?
Yeah, it's interesting how it came about for sure. But a colleague of ours who's now our vice president of business development for Eastern Canada, part of our Eastern Canada expansion team, did some work in Rwanda for 3 or 4 years at trying with his family had moved there and they were involved in a couple of different businesses there, but they really fell onto the tech sector of Rwanda and the plight of the Rwandan government that was really working hard to change the country through exporting tech talent and doing so through education through women. It's a fascinating plight and one that's so important for many reasons, not only getting more women involved in tech around the world, but this is the key to changing a nation. So when our colleague brought to us, look, there's something going on here that I think is perfect for Levvel. We have Canadian customers in the tech sector who require software testing. We have a group of women here that we could help get trained up with some other colleagues of ours that were working there. And that is in the end what was born is this combination of our involvement Levvel through funding and our assistance, plus Maraho Technology, who is our partner company in Rwanda, and a fantastic education program that was put together to educate and certify now up to 100 Rwandan women in what's called ISTQB certification, which is the highest accolade of software testing that a technical professional in that field can get. And they have passed that exam twice the pass rate of any other nation that's taken. And there is this natural inquisitive nature of the Rwandan culture that makes the testing profession and the natural inquisitive nature, it just all came together. So it has been 3-4 years in the making, and successfully now we have our first 2 customers out in Quebec that are utilizing the software testing talents of our Rwandan team. And it's very exciting. I can't say enough on how that's not only a passion project for us at the same time as smart business sense for our customers. And when business imbalance, when you can see those things come together in like, this is the one that brings all of those together like no other. Equity, opportunity, women in tech, abroad, global workforce, and great value for our customer at the same time. That's, I can't be more overjoyed about that initiative. And we were in Africa last year and spent some time working with our teams there. So very exciting.
That's a wonderful story. And yeah, it just hits all the key points of, you know, what makes a wonderful story and does so much good. And so great. That's great that you're able to do that. And you've just been appointed to the board of directors of the Distress Center. Can you tell me about that and why that particular organization?
Yeah, you bet. I'm very excited to be part of this organization. I spent 16 months on the phones with the Distress Center as a crisis volunteer. It started in 2017 to 18, which is where I learned about the Distress Center. I knew of them, but never realized the deep work that they do. And they are a 24/7 crisis support line that anybody can call in crisis. And crisis is different for different people, but there are a high percentage of suicide related calls. And there's no question that the suicide statistics have gone way up during COVID and during all of this stress for multiple reasons, not only health, but work and uncertainty. So my involvement in that organization has been important to me since my first taste of my first phone call supporting the first individual, and that organization saves lives. So I knew I would always be part of them. When we started Levvel, my husband and I made the decision to support the Distress Center and make them the charity of choice, our charity of choice. So we raise funds and promote the Distress Center at all Levvel hosted events. And then the opportunity for board members to join this year came up, and I went through the nomination process and was just awarded last month, and I'm now a member of the board. So I couldn't be happier to be promoting the great work that organization does, especially right now. There's always crisis, but this has just been a time where people need to know if they have no one else to call, they can call the Distress Center, and there's always someone at the end of the phone. So giving back is important to us as a business, as business leaders, and we knew it was going to be part of Levvel, and this is how we've chosen, is to get deeply involved with this organization.
Right. Well, that's great. And yeah, certainly mental health issues have really been greatly exacerbated by this, the pandemic, and has become another crisis on its own through this. So, as a business owner, you've learned and seen a lot of things and grown. And what advice do you have for other business owners?
Oh, such a good question. There's so much you learn, every month you learn, oh, I wish I should have done that better, but that's the point. So my advice would be that you're always learning, and to keep an open mind on what you do learn, and to learn from everyone. Where in the beginning you might think, can I learn from this person? My answer is yes. The more we ask questions, the more we listen to different perspectives, seek that out, listen more than you talk. Start to do those things to really take in the advice of others, and learn from others' mistakes from their own business journey. So have a mentor and seek that out. And I would say be very close to your numbers. If there's any advice I could give to business owners, it would be know your numbers inside and out, know your spend inside and out, and think and plan ahead for these, what we've learned, unprecedented events may occur and may occur again, and so what can you do? What do you need to do to shore up your business should that occur? And then have a plan to ride that out so that you feel and your team feels secure through it, and provide that leadership through it. They need to see you. So where in the beginning you too as a business owner might be struggling, how am I going to keep this business afloat? Get on a video call, is what we're all doing now, and lead your people through it. Show them your vulnerability. Say, this isn't going to be easy, but we're going to do it together, and show them you're willing to do that. So that's some of the advice that I've now learned the hard way and the easy way as we head into this next chapter.
Right. And great advice for sure. Well, thank you so much, Chantal, for joining us. Is there anything you'd like to add to what you've said?
I think from a business owner perspective, look for ways to ride this out, and believe in yourself and your team, and enlist others to share that pain with you. Don't take it all on your shoulders. As soon as you share the load, it's amazing how much better you'll be at getting through any crisis or any business challenge.
Great. Well, thanks so much. And where can people get a hold of you if they want to reach out?
They can find us at levvel.ca, and that's Levvel with 2 V's. So Levvel.ca, and all of our contact information is there. Absolutely feel free to reach out to us. And Chantal Milloy, I'm on LinkedIn, as we all are. So that's another way to reach out and send a quick message over.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us, Chantal, and all the best with Levvel going forward. And thanks to everyone for watching the COVID Chronicles, and stay safe and stay healthy, and Calgary strong.